Hey, it's mail time! This one's gonna be a doozy, probably pretty long, because not only do I have more holiday packages, but I also have a bunch of letters, and I still haven't cleaned up the mess from the previous one. You can't see because it's all off camera, but there's just stuff everywhere that people sent me, and then there's also, like, my damn tablet, my huge tablet I bought, came in this huge box with all these other components. There's just boxes everywhere. It's a nightmare, but you can't see any of it. So I'm just going to jump right into opening packages, starting with this big beautiful baby, because this damn package, they got it like almost 2 weeks ago at the post office, and they didn't even put a slip in my P.O. box. So I'm like going there, you know, I've got the guy who sent this keeps sending me messages on Twitter like, hey, they've got your package, I know they have it, and I'm like, well, I'm not getting any notifications. Finally, he sent me like a picture of it. I got them to find it. So if you have sent a package and you've been tracking it and you know it's supposed to be at my place, but like the next mailbag video comes around and it's not in there and you start to suspect that maybe the post office hasn't delivered it to me, you know, let me know, because it's not even uncommon for that to happen. It says, Digi Bro Letter 2. Hi, Uebo7 here again, your biggest moderate fan. I wanted to give you an update on that anime I was planning to make. Now, if you recall, I was supposed to be having a meeting with Hideki Imaishi about it, and while I was actually able to see him, he didn't seem all too interested in working with me. Actually, he didn't really know who I was at all, which was weird because my cousin said his dad had already arranged the meeting and everything, which only cost me $1,000 by the way, so I know it was really him. I mean, it looked like him, although he didn't respond to his name being called. Had to tap him on the shoulder. It must have been the jet lag. After all, it's his first time flying down here for exclusive part-time work at the Grand Wall Chinese Super Buffet. That's where a lot of anime directors have been gathering lately. Well, that's what my cousin told me. He said I shouldn't miss the opportunity. Apparently, Akiyuki Miyazaki will be working there next month, and my cousin's only going to charge me $50,000 to see him. That's his way of making it up for me for the whole Imaishi thing. It really pays to know dudes with connections in the industry, doesn't it? Anyway, since my cousin also happens to be vice president of his dad's printing company, yeah, he's a pretty big deal, I managed to get a hold of some more quality bootleg posters. I probably sent a bit too many, but just choose the ones you like. And hey, if you're not a lazy fuck, you can switch them out every now and again, and now and then to change things up. This shit comes straight from BizHub C550, printed directly onto premium 100-pound gloss cover paper. Well, some are only 80-pound, but rest assured, they're still premium as fuck. They're flame-resistant too, but you're already well aware of that. Speaking of which, since you accidentally ripped that Astroscore poster in half, I sent you a few replacements, as it was your most favorite. There's also a few posters here for Ben Saint and Devu, the final 3 in the stack, so make sure they receive them. Just slip them under their door in the middle of the night if you must. Also, I've included a flash drive containing a short 2-minute video of my rats. Their surgical wounds have all healed up too, making them good as new. They are very cute, so please enjoy. Thank you. Oh, on the back of that is what appears to be me sleeping. I'm guessing this is... Am I sleeping or am I just... I think this is from one of the laying around watching videos. This is Merry Christmas. Thank you. I'll be sure to watch your rats. Alright, here comes the posters. There's 8. Holy fuck, there are a shitload of posters in here. Okay. Oh my god. First off, we have Psycho-Pass. Pretty sure this is the movie poster. Pretty cool. Motherfucking Shirobako. You know that's going up at a prominent location. Another Shirobako, this one of Aoi, shoving your ass into the camera for some reason. Some really nice Revolutionary Girl Utena poster. My motherfucking girls. My K-On! Girls. More of my K-On! Girls. And of course, I mean, this just keeps going. I mean, there is no shortage. There is no end to. I could probably just, you know, the plebe and the weeb, it might just be a background of all K-On! Posters at this rate. I mean, I'm sure I can find a reason. I'm sure I can find a reason to have an episode that's just nothing but K-On! Posters. Like, that's definitely enough to fill the whole space. And next up, we've got G Gundam, fucking Domon Kashu, looking like a mean motherfucker. Oh, this is nice. Nazca of the Valley of the Wind. This is one of the posters. There's actually, like, the volumes of the manga have fold-out posters, but I've never had the balls to tear them out of my manga volumes. So it's nice to have that on another stock. Fucking Munchlax. Might have to give this to Munchie when he comes for RadCon. If anybody didn't know he's coming. Best girl from the new Pokemon game. Well, I don't know if she's best girl. She's good girl. Good girl from new Pokemon game. Best girl in general, Samus from fucking Super fucking Metroid. The greatest game ever made. Flip Flappers. I haven't even watched this show yet. This guy just assumes I'm gonna love it, so he sent me a poster. This is very nice looking, so regardless of whether I like the show, I'd probably put that up. Now and Then, Here and There, which I've only seen the first 3 episodes of, but, you know, whatever. Oh, I love this. Very cute Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura. This one's absolutely going somewhere. I can look at it all the time. A Bakano poster of most of the cast. I'm telling you, this is a bottomless well. We've got Hachikuji Mayoi from Bakemonogatari. Hitagi Senjo Gahara from Bakemonogatari. Another one of my girls, Taiga from Toradora, one of my favorite characters. More Toradora. We've got the OG of my girls, Lane, from the first DVD cover. Oh, some of my new girls. Bakuan, getting the titties out. I know that's going to be on the Plebe and Weeb set. Oh, more of my girls. It's the whole Lucky Star, the whole four piece, and the full cast, full Lucky Star crew. Hey, it's a poster I've already got. But I've got the official version, and this one is a bootleg. So this one gets to be a part of the Plebe and the Weeb set, probably. Oh my god, I'm knocking over the camera with the weight of posters. More girls. More of my girls. My Lucky Star girls. This is just... You have truly built the Plebe and the Weeb set, Uebo 7. I hope you know that. Haruhi and Konata posing together. You know, birds of a feather. Oh, he's organized this in such a way that it, you know, it bridges through different shows. You know, we went through Lucky Star, then we had Lucky Star meets Haruhi. Now we're in sheer Haruhi territory. See, there's a method to this. It's kind of like my playlists. This guy organized the posters the way I would organize a musical playlist of like branching from ideas one into another. I think they also might be going back in time. I think these might be like reverse age dated. We're getting into Code Geass now, and Dragon Ball Z. Now we're suddenly jumping decades. Like we're just jumping decades back through time. We've gotten back to Gundam already, and more Gundam. We've got Zaku's popping out. All right, but we're gonna calm down with the time jumping shit. We're going back to we're going to Kotocha from the '90s. This is great. Not a lot of people even know I'm a fan of Kotocha because I've only seen like 10 episodes, but I really love Sana. It's one of my favorite characters in anime. Oh, it's everybody's favorite waifu in a very degenerate position. Ooh, very, very cute Tamako from Tamako Market. We've got some of the nice girls of Steins Gate. Looking cute here. Oh, we've got, a throwback to previous Plebe and the Weeb seasons with ReZero, with some cute honeys hugging on this. This looks really nice, I'm not gonna lie. The man, the myth, the legend, the star-faced Simon. This currently gone. I actually have this wall scroll as well. It's technically Victor's, but it's up in my room. Hey, Konosuba. Some more of my new girls. New to the club. Another of everyone's favorite waifus, Satsuki, Lady Satsuki, get her in her other outfit too, why not? We've got, it never ends. I keep reaching in and like feeling how many are left, and there's still a ton left. You've got Motoko Kusanagi. You've got Motoko Kusanagi, I guess? And Eva. Forever? Because Kashern. Is this not the same one? Okay, it's not the same one as before. This time, Kashern's in the foreground and Dio's in the background, as opposed to how it was on the previous poster that he sent. Some nice Fooly Cooley art by the original artist. Hunter x Hunter gang pose. Oh, my mainest man of the year, Sakamoto, the absolute man of perfection. We've got some Umaru-chan, I think. Wait, is this Umaru? Yeah, Umaru-chan. I don't know why. I guess they're cute. Boku no Hero Academia, very comic book, very explosive cover. I like that. Ooh, welcome to the NHK, the original Yoshitoshi Abe artwork that's on the cover of the volume. Angle Beast, everyone's favorite anime, Angle Beast. Very cute Space Patrol Luluko poster. That's very nice to have. Ooh, very lovely Hibike Euphonium character portraits going on here. And we've got one of the hottest anime girls of all time, Kosaka Reina. Some more Euphonium. Even more Euphonium posters going on here. We've got Spice and Wolf with Horo. Some Maguka. Then we got some classics, some of my old school favorite girls, the girls of Ranma 1/2, the best girls of Ranma 1/2, which is Ranma and Akane, who I am absolutely in love with, and more Ranma, a smaller version of my Eureka 7 poster of Renton and Eureka. We've got Darker Than Black, and we've got the Resurrection, the exact same Asterisk War poster. Oh no! Oh no, there's some... Oh no! Oh no! It just starts getting blurry and abstract. Oh my god. Alright, this one is for that Ben Saint fellow. It's Ben on his Patreon logo, and on the back, a posterized version of the champion. Ben is gonna fucking absolutely, like, shit his pants in love when he sees this. Oh my god, and so is Devu when he sees these. These two are for that Devu boy, it says. We've got the painter girl from Kirby 64, who Devu is in love with, and the girl from Ace Attorney, who he's also in love with. So yeah, those guys are going to be ecstatic about these. Thanks a ton, Uebo7. That was fucking hilarious. And oh my god, that's the most posters. Oh my god, you know what I can do with all those fucking posters? You know what you've finally done for me, Uebo? Something I've dreamed about for years. I'm gonna fill that fucking ceiling. I'm gonna fill that fucking ceiling with posters. The whole fucking ceiling. I could do it now. Okay, now that we've finished the 15 minutes of pulling posters out of a box, let's move on to someone else's mail, yeah? This one's a package inside of a package. I feel an anime magazine. Dear Digi, welcome to my Stream of Consciousness letter. I finally found the time to write this, and by that I mean that I've been making this letter and the attached drawing since the first video you said you wanted people to send you mail. I made some changes while writing this because I wanted to mention a few things I heard while catching up on content on the Procrastinators channel. I don't have any anime magazines, sorry, just questions, drawings, and a time capsule I found in an old pile of nostalgia. I'm mostly sending this letter to give you my 3x3 and also to get your opinion on what other shows I might like and some random questions. But first, in one mail video I saw, you said you couldn't think of a show that you had been told you'd love for sure. So here's one, Monster. I could have sworn you said it was a promising show in some or other video. You sort of confirmed it recently, but at the very least, I'll let you know that it's amazing because I've started watching it finally. It delves into the worst and best of humanity while keeping you interested in the twists and turns of the story with very thrilling pacing. Tenma, Monster's protagonist, has tons of character development by going on a countrywide journey to find the person who turned his world into both his ideal life and a living nightmare. I was marathoning it like there was no tomorrow, and it's easily a 10 out of 10. Kind of funny since the last 10 out of 10 I saw was Luluko, a show with a completely opposite tone. On the topic of my favorite shows, I'll just say that my top 3 are One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and Bakemonogatari. Here's my mal if you care about the rest. It's Animorph I Magi, all one word. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to what I think is an underrated anime which I ran into randomly when going through some trashy Netflix animes a few years back, Bigata HK, aka BH Yamada, when I watched it on Netflix. I expected it to be a generic slice of life show, but the second that the main character said her goal in life was to fuck 100 guys, I knew the show was going to be good. Now for some random questions. I agree, Bigata HK is pretty great. You should go watch Mumkey's anime review of it. It's one of the best anime reviews out there. Why do people complain about the lack of complex characters in anime when simple characters are much more realistic in my experience? In the real world, most people end up being archetypes or a little more than strangers because most people won't want to give you their whole life story, and if they did, it probably wouldn't be very unique. Before and during high school, no one's backstory and experiences were too different from each other. Even when you get to college, good friends might not want to talk about their past or family, and learning about someone as you hang out with them is much more likely. Maybe it's something about anime as a whole that benefits from explaining motivations and drastic character realizations through flashbacks. When someone's backstory in an anime is totally normal, followed by one or two good people in their lives getting killed or something, it seems like a generic trope and kind of unbelievable how drastically they change or how often they don't learn from the mistake they made. I suppose it could be also that I prefer simple side characters like Hiei, Speed of Sound Sonic, or Mihawk. Their coolness overrides any need for deep personality or backstory, not that I don't want it. I think the reason people like complex characters is because they're not real. Because real people are boring, and you don't want to be reminded of all the normal people that you meet in your everyday life. You want exciting, eccentric characters who provide something that you wouldn't be able to get out of everyday living. What's your opinion when people comment everywhere about there being crappy animation in a show and they clearly are actually thinking about the art style, since the animation, the movement in the show, is obviously above the norm? Basically, why is there a misconception about what animation is? I've seen people say, look at this horrible animation in this show while posting a picture, which isn't even a good way to portray poor art in a show, since a still frame could be awful or amazing in any show. It's just a lack of understanding. I mean, you'd be amazed how many My Anime List reviews talk about a show's graphics. Like, people just don't know the terminology. That's why I made that video, how to define the best looking anime, which I need to revamp that video because I think it's still relevant and needs to be seen by more people. And the editing was really bad in it because it's when I was trying to figure out how to beat copyright in a bunch of weird ways. So that video deserves to be redone. Also, do you know any similar composer besides Yoko Kanno who is as amazing as Shiro Sagisu? I didn't know until I watched Evangelion that he was actually the composer of a few of my favorite series, Bleach and the Berserk movies. The depressing/grand feel to so many of his songs are endlessly impressive. On a side note, I watched Bleach, then the Berserk movies, then Evangelion, before finally caring about the music enough to want to know of the composer's name. Bleach is still my favorite action OST, but Berserk has some amazing atmospheric songs that make it onto one of my favorites too. Eva has a few good ones, but funnily enough, there's some very similar sounding songs in Bleach, so I stuck with the ones I heard first. Well, Berserk is also composed by, it's like a dual composer situation. It's also Susumu Hirasawa, and I think he did most of the really memorable songs from Berserk, like the theme of Guts and stuff. So I don't really know my opinion of Shiro Sagisu's work on that show, if I'm understanding correctly that he did. I mostly know the Susumu Hirasawa songs, which are great. It's funny that you mentioned that there's similar songs between Bleach and Eva, because he also basically used the Eva music in the new Godzilla movie that Hideaki Anno directed. It has like just remixes directly of songs from Eva, which is really hilarious. I don't know that I'm a huge fan of him as a composer. I mean, I have a bunch of favorite composers, mostly like Yuki Kajiura, Yoko Kanno, Yoshino Yuji, and a bunch of other people. I have somewhere on my Reddit, there's a graph of all my favorite composers in anime. By the way, after listening to the Devu interview video, I was reminded how I appreciate when you get mad at people who say, it's anime, to explain plot holes and poorly thought out ideas in anime. Thanks for that. I was also wondering if Plebe and the Weeb would be incorporating any aspects from Best of the Worst, e.g. the Wheel of the Worst, or destroying a plushie from a bad show, or anything gimmicky like that. I don't know if we're going to do anything to that extent, because Plebe and the Weeb is going to be, just the 2 10-episode seasons, so we're probably going to stick to, playing around with the formula that's already there as opposed to building a whole other show like Best of the Worst. So, So I don't know about that, but we will probably watch some bad stuff on the next show. With this letter, I have two pictures along with this letter. One is a 3x3 of the most highly anticipated shows I haven't watched yet, and the other is a picture of your waifu. Just like a real artist, after I finished the 3x3, I had forgotten the point of drawing it and why it matters, but here anyway. Also, ironically, since I've been intermittently working on that 3x3, I decided to make sure not to watch any of the anime in it until I finished the picture. It made me want to watch them even more, though, so my plan worked. Thanks for reading my poorly constructed letter. I made some comments about some of my 3x3 below. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and good luck with RadCon 2. A dedicated fan, Anthony. P.S. I once commented that you should do a Monogatari analysis video in the style of SAO or Asterisk War, and you responded that you had already done an analysis video. I had already watched that Monogatari video, and it was great, but I just want as much Monogatari analysis as humanly possible. I can't wait for Monogatari such a Monogatari-related video you said you'd make someday. Oh wait, it's happening now. Thanks. Yeah, I will eventually cover the rest of Monogatari. I haven't decided if I want to do it, like, you know, immediately, or wait till Kizu 3 is out, or wait till the whole set, like, the whole ending is out, like, because they're gonna adapt the entire thing, I believe, so, you know, I might as well wait till every single thing has been adapted and then cover the whole rest of the show. So, I don't know how soon it'll happen, but it should. Okay, so here is what appears to be, I guess, his 3x3. I wish the camera would pick it up better. It looks like Detroit Metal City, Hajime no Ippo, Nichijou. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Medaka Box. Why am I trying to determine this through the camera? Not sure what this is. Not sure what this is. Eva. And in the middle is Monster, it looks like. So he's got some notes on it. It says, oh, Lupin the Third Part 4 is the middle right. It's Rebecca. Rebecca Rossellini is waifu material, so that's the girl from Lupin Part 4. Medaka Box, bottom right corner, it was the hardest drawing. Evangelion movies. I'm waiting for 4 plus 1.0 before seeing any of them. By the way, I don't like the original anime series. I am hoping for the characters to act more like likable in the movies. The Eva characters are my most hated of all time, not because they are poorly made, but because most of them just seem like horrible people. I assume they are made to be hated since they seem to act believable and consistently in their given situations. Ironically, I don't have any problem with Shinji and just hate Asuka and Misato. I don't understand how characters like them and Rei can be waifus or be the inspiration to make tsundere and kudere stereotypes. They act the way they do for actual reasons compared to modern series having characters act the way they do just because they were born that way. Kaoru is best girl. Then Fist of the North Star, just finished the first movie and loved it. Monster, the main characters in the middle. Hajime no Ippo, middle left. And Wolf Children, upper right. I thought that might be Wolf Children. I can't imagine hating Misato. She's one of my favorite anime characters of all time. By a good margin, so... I don't... I would need a much more detailed explanation of why you don't like her in order to defend. So here we've got... the wife Kaoru from I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, and on the back the husband, Colt Corona, of course. And he also sent a magazine, a PlayStation magazine, so not actually an anime magazine, but at least it's a magazine. 150 new games. God, how old is this? PlayStation 3, PSP, so... Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2. So this is like probably late 2000s or early 2010s. A PlayStation magazine. Alright, next up we've got an adorable letter with a bear face. Pretty cute. I'm not really sure how to start this, but I guess I just write as if I was talking. Maybe that would make for a more interesting letter. I am at the definition of a crossroads in my life at the moment. And as I was procrastinating studying for my finals, I would stay up late watching your videos. For some godforsaken reason, even though I am extremely stressed out and on the verge of a major existential crisis, I keep watching these 2-hour videos such as Endless Weeb Trivia Quizzes, which was in the recommended bar since YouTube now recommends ancient videos, on your After Dark channel. I've been watching you since you made pony videos. My friend and I would watch MLP back in high school along with your analysis videos in her basement on a projector. I think she had become less involved with YouTube since, but I have loosely kept tabs on your channels as they slowly turned to focus on anime, which was still analysis on something I had an interest in. I think I've come to realize that you and the way you think of things is just something I could listen to forever, which is great because you have thousands of hours of content online probably. I've related to a lot of things you say, although I think if you listen to most people over the course of a few years, anyone can relate to anyone. And I think we would have interesting conversations with each other. If you ever want to have a scattered personal discussion with someone, you should add me on Skype. Signed, Brianna. An introverted smoker from California. Well, thanks for the letter, Brianna. I do agree that if you listen to anybody for long enough, you're probably going to start relating to everything they say. I mean, I guess that's what they call Stockholm Syndrome, you know? You listen to someone long enough and you start believing all their dumb bullshit they talk about, such as myself. But thanks for the adorable letter. This next one's from a Tad in Ohio. Tad Jackson is only one of me, it says, in handwriting on the front. Oh, here's another fan letter for Jesse. Endless Jess is the greatest thing I've ever encountered on YouTube. His video about Cool Cat Saves the Kids was, for lack of a better word, amazing. Upon watching it, I was equal parts flabbergasted and terrified. It is such a beautifully slow build, from a depressing moment on his floor sorting through old crap from the garbage to his wild and crazy Clorox-induced hallucinogenic nightmare playing Star Fox 64 with a horseman and fighting fictitious characters and pop culture icons with a broomstick and crotch lasers. It was a masterpiece and, without a shadow of a doubt, the single greatest thing I have ever seen on the internet. And the best part is that his channel is nothing but amazing stuff that is equal or near equal in one way or another to that splendiferous Manahatwa of excellence. Endless Jess is the Neon Genesis Evangelion of the internet, period. Thank you for directing me to his amazing and probably insane individual. He's like Slender Man. Once you finally see him, you don't stop seeing him. I don't know how I never found him before now. He was right in front of me the whole time. Takes a moment to catch breath. Hello, Digibro. Nice to meet you for the 5th time. It is I, Cloudman. Good to see that the pirates didn't actually kill you. You appeared to enjoy reading my previous letters, so I decided to entertain you some more. After the last 2 entries that were almost exclusively about giving you unchecked schlock from my tool shed, I figured you could use a fun read. When we last spoke, you remarked that it was ironic that Cloudman would send a USB drive instead of using cloud storage, and I felt a burning fire deep in my prefrontal lobe to respond. I think it's time that you hear the truth that they've been hiding from you all along. You see, cloud storage was invented by a hacker named Charlie Charleston, who wanted to steal former President George W. Bush's identity so he could buy a tank and potentially bring down the presidency using Dick Cheney's browser history. But the tank was the important part. He soon after used that tank to break up with his girlfriend so he could be with Hatsune Miku, who was actually human at the time. But that's another story. Bill Gates' closest friend, Grima Wormtongue, found the software, killed Charleston, and bought the patent for cloud storage, then called Project Pornograb, for the price of 1 Subway footlong sandwich. He actually paid for the patent with a Subway footlong sandwich. It was the sweet onion chicken teriyaki on Italian herbs and cheese with spinach, tomato, mayonnaise, balsamic vinegar, and jalapeno pepper slices. He then traveled back in time to 1999, stole the identity of Babe Ruth, started his own tech company, caused that company to fail with his poor money management and abhorrent logic, and in a last-ditch effort to stay afloat, sold Project Pornograb to his former closest friend Bill Gates for an absurd amount of money that can't be represented by human numbers. Grima moved to Rohan, where he would live comfortably in the court of King Theoden for many years, but we're getting off track. Realizing that Project Pornograb was not a very marketable name, Gates, in all his infinite wisdom, named it Cloud Storage, after his late cousin Gerard Marvin Mann, who he had killed in a duel to the death in the Queen's Court for the love of Anne Montgomery Fisher. Marvin Mann was my father. Pause for dramatic effect. Where's your irony now? Well, I hope that you enjoyed this disjointed excuse to send you postage as much as I enjoyed those videos about Gurren Lagann's character designs and Akiyuki Shinbo in the 90s. Though by the time I actually send this, you'll have posted a video about the Ghost in the Shell live-action trailer. How did you... Wait. Did you just predict that, or what? Were you, like, sending this as I was on my Twitter rant? Keep up the good work and, just keep continuing to progress in the actions of doing stuff. Like I said, I'm not picky. from Adam Holsinger. By the way, do you mind if I keep sending in dumb crap like this? It's kind of like having a shaved Wookiee for a pen pal, and I think it might be therapeutic or something. If you don't object, might I continue to weave this randomly assembled narrative next with the tale of Hatsune Miku and how she lost her humanity? Planetarian was pretty cool. Okay, I'm really leaving now. Also, I like Hypocrite. Okay, bye. Yeah, sure, send as many as you want. It's your money. There was also a 3x3 in there, which I guess he didn't send before. It's just Neon Genesis Evangelion in all 9 squares. He's accepted it. This next one is from an Aaron in Plymouth. In addition to the letter, it says open after letter, and it's like taped, sealed shut, so I couldn't accidentally open it first. Hi Conrad/Digi. I've always thought it would be cool to send fan mail to someone, so why not send some to you? While I can't say I've been a long-time follower of you as much as your other awesome fans, I do thoroughly enjoy hearing your thoughts and opinions on media, be it anime, music, etc. Or anime, music, etc. I think the fact that so many people have written to you and thanked you for influencing them is something to be proud of. I want to be an animator, but my main goal in life is to tell stories and inspire people. So in a way, you inspiring people inspires me to inspire people. The first video I saw from you was the Who is Hideaki Anno 2-parter, which I still think is an interesting video. However, I didn't start regularly watching until I found out you liked Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is not just my favorite anime, but my favorite show of all time. I could write a 10,000-page essay on how much I love that show, but I'll refrain from doing that. Wait, just go ahead, do that. Do that, release it online, please. I'm sure that you in the audience would rather get in a car and car ride with Akio Otori than hear me fangirl. By the way, your Utena poster is amazing, with like stars in between each letter. I agree, it's pretty fucking dope. I wish I had it in a place where it was more on camera. Because of your videos, I also started watching the Monogatari series. Currently, I'm on Neko Monogatari Black. I loved Bake a ton, but I absolutely despise Nisei with all my being. Sorry to anyone who likes it. And Hitagi is my bae. Well, I know you like Shinobu, so I drew a little pic for you. It's of a cool young Shinobu before she was turned into bootleg Hitagi Lolly Shinobu in Nisei. Again, sorry to anyone who likes it. I'm sorry I don't have any anime magazines, but I'm a totally search for some next time. Also includes is my Totes Real 3x3, Keep on Keepin' On, from Aaron O. Alright, let's see the 3x3 and the Shinobu drawing. I think I also accused her of being bootleg Hitagi back when Nisei Monogatari started. Or maybe I did in my video and I forgot. I came to like her again once in second season, because I think that she and Araragi hanging out has a fun like mystery adventure vibe to it. But you haven't gotten there yet. As of writing this letter anyways. This is a very complicated taping situation. Alright, well that is just adorable and hilarious. It's like Shinobu if she was drawn by the guy who draws the gorillas. She's got a hat that just says Vamp and Kiss Shot on it. Ooh, this is an adorable 3x3. Also, it's not just anime either. We've got Welcome to the NHK, Monogatari. I mean, this is a picture from Nisei, but she said she hated Nisei. Kirito from Sword Art Online. Pokemon. What is this in the middle? I do not know this thing. Oh, wait, is that Girl Chan in Paradise? It's Girl Chan in Paradise. Steven Universe. What is that, Supersonico? Supersonico, Romeo and Juliet, and Evangelion. It's just a bunch of rays. I'm not sure how much of this is a meme and how much is real. So, maybe this paper... Oh, this was just like a containment paper. That's why it was okay for it to be ripped up. Well, thanks for the adorable little smoking Shinobu. Alright, next is a letter from Virginia. From a city I don't know in Virginia. Dear Digibro, at first I wasn't sure what to write in this letter, but then I decided to split it into 2 parts. First, I want to thank you. I started watching your videos over the summer of this past year. I had stopped watching anime for about a year, but then I found your videos. They reminded me about what I love about anime and helped me to find shows to watch, so thank you for helping to get me back into anime. Now the second part, I was thinking Digi does anime analysis, so why don't I write about what is in my 3x3 and why everything is there, in the order I put them on my 3x3, not in the order from my favorites. So first is Toradora. Honestly, this show caught me by surprise. I first tried to watch it about 2 years ago and was not that interested in it. At the time I was 15. Then your video on it convinced me to watch it again. I watched the whole show in one day and stayed up until about 2 a.m. to finish it, even though I had school the next day. My favorite parts of this show are the characterization and the character interactions. I like the plot, but for the most part think it's fairly predictable. I give the show an 8.8 out of 10. It has some issues that I think stop it from getting a 9 out of 10, but the best rom-com show I've seen. Did I do a video about Toradora? I mean, I know I mentioned it in my list of my favorite anime, so maybe that's what he's talking about. Hunter x Hunter is the best shonen long-running action show I've ever seen. The plot is interesting and memorable, if fairly standard in some ways. I love all the characters, even the enemies. Hisoka and the King are such good villains, and it's fun to see how Gon and Killua might try to fight them. I like the dynamic between Gon and Killua and think that's the best part of the show. The animation and fight scenes are great, and I like all the character designs. I give this show a 10 out of 10. I think it's pretty much flawless, and I am thankful for the lack of filler episodes and arcs. So far, both of those scores are almost exactly what I would give those shows, by the way. So I'm curious to see how that'll continue, because it looks like this is mostly shows I like. Psycho Pass Season 1 is the best dark sci-fi show I've ever seen. I love the setting, the ideas, and concepts behind it. The plot is interesting and the writing is amazing. The ending is also very good. I have a hard time saying anything about this show, but that I love every part of it. This show gets an easy 10 out of 10, and honestly is probably the best anime I've ever watched. So we're 3 for 3 on agreeing. The World God Only Knows is a show I relate to in many ways. I'm an introvert who mostly just plays video games and watches anime and mostly avoids people in the real world, so I feel connected to the main character. I think that every aspect of the show is good. I do think the jokes get a little repetitive sometimes, but I overall enjoy the show and have watched several times over. The show gets an 8.5 out of 10. It's not as good as Toradora, but it's great in its own right. I don't know what I would actually score The World God Only Knows. I haven't seen it in years, and I only ever watched the first season and a half. Barakamon is a show I would never have watched without you. I don't normally watch shows like this, but you gave it such strong recommendation that I decided to watch it. I love this show. The writing is incredible and believable. I really buy all the motivations for the characters and their following actions. I love the character development and plot, so this gets a 10 out of 10, no question. Well, I would only give Barakamon a 9. Still an amazing show, but that's the first. We're now starting to diverge here. Death Note Season 1 was one of the first anime I ever watched. I love this show, the story and intrigue of guessing who's going to get who. The idea of a book that can kill someone just by writing in it is not particularly unique, but still captivating nonetheless. The moral question is possessed while skin deep are still intriguing. Moral question is possessed while skin deep are still intriguing. Don't know what that sentence means. The plot, while confusing at times, is captivating and it compels you to watch the next episode, so I give it a 9 out of 10. It has very few flaws, but those stop it from getting a 10. FMA Brotherhood. I watched the original FMA early one when I was about 14, and then watched a couple episodes of Brotherhood and thought this is exactly the same. I was very, very wrong. I ended up watching the show this year and finished it about a month ago. I loved it. The action scenes, plot, writing, and characters are all amazing and memorable. Some of the jokes get reused a little too much, but for the most part the show is good at balancing serious and comical parts. I really like the end of the show, which is not something I can say about the original, so I give the show a 9 out of 10. FMA got a 7 out of 10, mostly because of the what the fuck ending. Yeah, that ending is dog shit. Tokyo Ghoul is the show I'm not 100% deserves to be on here. I do really like this show, but I recognize that it has significant flaws. I don't think any part of it is outright bad, but I don't think any parts of it excel. Yet for some reason I really do love this show. I honestly have a hard time explaining why I like the show so much, but I do. I guess it gets a 7.9 out of 10. The last but certainly not least is Sakamoto desu ga. This is the best comedy show I have seen. The jokes are always on point. I love the way Sakamoto's perfectness leads everyone else to understand their flaws. The animation and drawings are amazing. The only possible complaint I have is the ending, which I don't fully understand, but I think I may just be misunderstanding something. This show gets a 10 out of 10, and I think it has almost no flaws. I want to thank you again for helping to reignite my passion for anime, and I hope that this letter is interesting. I really love your work, both Digibro and Digibro After Dark. I thought about handwriting this letter, but I have bad handwriting, so it would be incredibly hard to read. I also hope I didn't make too many grammatical mistakes, the irony being that you wrote to as in T-O as opposed to T-O-O. Sincerely, Alexander. Well, that was certainly an explanation with a 3x3, which is something I don't get a whole lot of in these letters. And it actually might be helpful in some cases to understand some of the 3x3s I get. And we agreed on, like, what was it, the first 3 scores? Obviously, you've taken a lot of show recommendations from me, so it's kind of a given that we'd end up having a lot of the same favorites. Okay, we've got one last package here. This one's from Canada. It's bigger. Let's tear this bad boy open. Okay, I'm going to assume that there's something inside of this Fiber One box that's not Fiber One. Okay, there's like a bunch of papers in here. I don't know which one to start with. And there's also a really heavy little box and an Atlantis storybook. Let's find out what all this is. Okay, this is definitely a favorite albums 3x3. It's, let's see if I can read. Let's see if I can flip this over and read the whole thing. We've got the Tragically Hip, Sam Roberts, Radiohead, Galnerius, Daft Punk, Blank Banshee, I can't read that one, Lords of the Underground, and Stereophonics. Well, I'm very familiar with Galnerius and Daft Punk and Blank Banshee and Radiohead, all of which I think are pretty cool. I definitely like Discovery. I love Blank Banshee 0 and 1. My favorite Galnerius album is Resurrection, for sure. And the only Radioheads I really like are Kid A and A Moon-Shaped Pool. Neither of which is a favorite, but they're good. They're good albums, you know? I don't have a problem with them. This looks like a favorite anime 3x3. Alright. We've got... This is a very interesting one, by the way. We've got Great Teacher Onizuka, that's Tommy Galaxy, Golden Boy, Ping Pong, Porco Rosso. I can't even tell what the hell that is. Is that like Midori Days? Might be Midori Days. This looks like Ranma, and I think that's one of the Whisper of the Heart and Berserk. Very interesting 3x3. I've never seen one like this before. Obviously, you really like sort of somewhat raunchy adult comedies like Golden Boy and GTO. I'm guessing you're probably in your early 20s going by this list. They're all like older characters, except for Midori Days. And if that is Ranma, it is Ranma. Like, other than those, like, a lot of these are older characters, older guys. Shows about, like, you know, the kind of doodly shows in a good way. I don't know. Really interesting and good taste. I like it. It's a very cool 3x3. This one is a video games list. We've got a definite PC gamer on our hands here, going by all these incredibly complicated looking games. We've got EV4, Dwarf Fortress, Command Modder, Air/Naval Operations. Modder, is that what it says? Aurora, For the Glory, CK2, Wargame Red Dragon, Homeworld, and Dark Souls. I mean, aside from Dark Souls and Dwarf Fortress, I've never even heard of any of these games. They all look like way out of my depth PC games that I would never be able to handle in a million years. And a favorite manga and comics list, it looks like. We've got Skaggy the Lost, Scott Pilgrim, Kitaro, Ranma 1/2, Usagi Yojimbo, Dororo, Judge Dredd, Opus, and The Champion, which is by Ben Saint. And it's got a picture of Cory in the house, looming in the distance. Interesting stuff. Lots of classic, like, old school manga, like really old school manga. And then some classic American comics. Again, a very interesting taste. I've never seen someone with that 3x3 in manga or comics. So I'm curious about this person. So we've got this Atlantis storybook thing. Something like, it's like a free gift certificate sign-up thing. But there's a coin taped to the back. I assume it's some Canadian money. This is expired. It was only valid in Canada in 2003, and I only included it to make a Digibros reference that has nothing to do with Atlantis. A Digibros reference? I don't even know what the Digibros reference is. Oh, because he wrote his name as Assquake on the inside. I assume that's why. And then there's like a Canadian money, I think. Okay, well this letter says start here on it, so I should have probably, paid attention to that. Private letter part A.txt. Do not disclose instructions. So I'm supposed to not tell you the instructions, but I already did. So it's too late. But we'll follow them anyways. He didn't say anything about the 3x3 in the instructions, so I'm assuming we're still on track. I'm sorry I failed you so horribly. Oh my god! This package contains 4 N64 games. Star Fox 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which we actually don't have on the N64, and Super Mario 64. Wait, are these all ones we said we didn't have on Digibros? Because if so, thanks a ton. I thought we had Star Fox. Maybe we don't. Maybe only Brandon does. Okay, there's letters in here as well. Merry Christmas, Digibro.txt. Hello, I go by Kaiser Malwerf on YouTube and Reddit. I've been a fan since around mid-2014. When I first got into the video-based anime discourse thing in 2011, all I could find were either consumer reviews or Tig-with-Tig style plot summaries with comedy sprinkled in. Then, of course, these dinosaurs were killed off by the twin meteors that were Red Letter Media and Old Demolition D. Then, in the chaotic aftermath, a new force entered the anime landscape. He evolved from the bronies into what is now the dominant species in anime dialogue. Long story short, you're my favorite YouTuber because Red Letter Media talks about stuff I have no interest in most of the time, and now Demo is probably eaten alive by his many pets. As of late, I feel that you have surpassed what they were at their peaks because of your tendency towards innovation and your intellectual approach. Anyways, I sent you some stuff. If I wasn't an art student with no money, I'd probably be a patron, but I am an art student with no money, so your consolation prize is a small collection of N64 games that you may or may not already own. If nothing else, I know that you don't already have Super Mario 64 because I watch Digibros. My favorite video by you is not a video, it's the Ponyo commentary track. I had very little interest in Ponyo and probably wouldn't have watched it if it hadn't been for that commentary, and now Ponyo is one of my favorite things, so thanks for that. Cool, I almost never hear about my Ponyo audio commentary. I often forget I ever did one because no one brings it up. Most of the time when I watch your videos, I'm really just listening while I'm doing art for fun or for homework. Would you ever consider putting the pub crawl, the PCP, and the long After Dark stuff on iTunes? Thanks for making video. The only reason I haven't put anything on iTunes is because I hate iTunes and I don't use it myself, and therefore I feel no compulsion to do it, but we really do need to get PCP onto iTunes. Thank you for making videos and for being so open with your audience. I admire your persistence and can-do attitude, and I wish you all the success in the world. But yeah, hi from Canada. It's cold. I'm cold. P.S. I don't expect you to play these on Digibros or anything. This is a gift, not a request. P.P.S. Give St. Bernard von Patreon a good salute for me, will ya? Ben the Champion is amazing and great, and I resent Ben the Champion is amazing and great, and I resent Pokemon for occupying your time and presumably slowing its production. Goddammit, whip crack. I will tell him all of that. And yeah, thanks again for the games. I don't believe we have any of these. We might have Star Fox, I don't know, but we definitely don't have these two, and we were talking about that on Digibros. Maybe they will get played. I mean, we've already done Ocarina of Time on the show, but very cool to own a copy of it on the good old N64. And now the final part, private letter part B.txt. Okay, so you might already know this, but Star Fox 64 requires a rumble pack to save. That really fucked me over back in the day. I just wanted to make sure you did not suffer the same terrible fate. That's all. Happy holidays. I didn't know that, but, I mean, Star Fox is a game you can beat in one sitting, so I guess that would be the ideal way to do it. Alright, I think that's it for this mail video. I don't think there's any more letters laying around. This is such a chaotic mess now that I wouldn't even know if I did. But thanks again to everybody who sent all the stuff. A bunch of really cool shit came this time, some cool letters, so thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Davoo, I've got gifts for you. Someone sent your waifu poster. Say thanks to Weibo7.
Thank you, Weibo7. Guess I'll have to play the new game to get this more specced out body that she apparently has now.
Yeah.
But this one hasn't grown up.
You can cover up all these nasty wall space that the camera's picking up. I gotta go give Ben one now.
Sweet. Amazing.
Hang on.
I've got a camera.
What?
I'm gonna film you for a second.
Why?
You've got a present
Oh God.
from the mailbags.
No, it looks terrible.
Too bad.
No.
I love how Ben gets all this build up and like preparation. Like I never get to seem grateful to people because you know I have no time to prepare. I'm just over here talking to Nate, and all of a sudden get this. Yeah,
This is Ben cares too much about appearances.
I see. Well, I do too. I'm just always living a 24/7 aesthetic. I'm always prepared.
Yes.
Here you go, Ben. It's a poster for you.
It's a poster for me of me.
Well, look at the back too.
Whoa! No.
Wait, what's
Wait. No! They twisted it. They flipped the script.
Wait, what did she say?
These fucking pricks never get tired of this stale ass meme, do they? Wow, this is a beautiful print. I kind of wish they hadn't fucked it up with that text.
Putty or whatever?
Huh?
Do you have poster putty? Like, how do I put this on the wall?
Jeez.
I don't want to put it on the floor waiting for it to get bent somewhere, you know?
Well, say thanks to Weibo7.
Huevo7?
Uebo7.
Uebo7.
He's a real memester. He sent me like 100 posters
He's a
for
real-
the Plebe Weebs.
He's a real shitlord, isn't he?
Whoa!
I don't know which.
That's
I'll
cool.
probably go with this side. I'll probably display. It would be weird to have my own face on my wall. Although it is kind of the sort of thing I would do for sure.
All right.
You know what? Yeah.
I'm almost out of camera.
Thank you, Uebo.
This is the aftermath. I gotta sort all that.